Yes.
Now what? Now that we're live, now what?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Magic. We were actually looking for things to. Whenever I'm looking for magic, it doesn't seem to happen. But one way that's kind of a surefire way to find something is to go down in the basement. So that's what I did this afternoon. I went down in the basement and I searched around for magical things. And normally when I do that, I go into his area and he has little tiny little stones everywhere, sort of in various stages of forming into wands or pieces of jewelry or what have you, and little tiny boxes of magical things. And so I was looking at his table and I thought, oh, okay, well, it's the season of the holidays. And so let's pick up some stones that sort of personify some of the feelings that we like to have during the holidays, or that could actually help us to have those feelings. So if you're on, please say hi in the chat if you like. So the first one I picked up, actually, that just sort of jumped out at me was rhodochrosite, which is a stone that actually, oh gosh.
See, isn't that magical?
It that actually is it resonates to the same resonance of the feeling of joy. When you put this on somebody, hey Mary, when you put this on somebody when you're working on them, or there's a technique. Hey Julie, there's a technique that that we use in one of our classes that we have used, somebody else's actually class, and she had us doing something with rhodochrosite on a person's feet. Hi, Bonnie. And so when you take the rhodochrosite and the person has their eyes closed, they're just sort of in their own little space. And you put one on the bottom and one on the top, and you just sort of move them around a little bit. And almost invariably, when you do this technique, they'll start to smile or laugh or giggle. And it's very interesting how fast the resonance of the stone sort of raises the resonance of the person. But I've never actually done it on anyone where they didn't at least smile. So I thought it was appropriate for the season because it is a stone of joy.
And this, by the way, is an actual basement. This is not, like the depths of her soul or anything.
Yeah, no, it's our real basement.
It's a real live basement where we keep stones captive,
which has actually quite a bit of magic in it. Anyway, then I thought, okay, what's a good stone for peace? Because
tis the season.
Tis the season. So, and of course, this one's obvious and inevitable, but Larimar. It's a very, and again, I'm looking at his little boxes of stones. And so I picked up the Larimar and I thought, well, it's kind of obvious, but it's also an amazing stone to bring a sense of peace. I think it's why people love wearing it, because it's just, it feels good. You have your own little description of Larimar that's kind of fun.
It's the stone of vacations.
Yes.
When you're wearing Larimar, you're automatically on vacation. It's always the
yes
kind of response to life, and that's that could be magical, especially when you're overstressed and stuff. It's nice to have that option
to take a breath.
Yeah, and then there was a truly magical stone.
And then this one, then I got distracted, and I thought I got out of the holiday thing, and I just got distracted by cool stones. And I found this little box of andradite garnets that are unbelievable. They grow in little squares and little diamonds, and well, there's a little bit of some white matrix there, but they, I don't know if you can see the full.
If you hold it real still, and you get just a glimpse.
Here. We're It's very hard to do this, but it's an extraordinary stone, and garnet, of course, is a stone it has extraordinary growth. It grows in rhomboids,
Yeah, there.
rhombohedron.
You can see the little diamond shapes there, right above that white piece. See it?
And
And the other interesting thing that happened is when we started looking at these, all of a sudden we discovered all kinds of things that had diamonds in them, like
yes,
diamond shaped like that, like the Flame of Ishtar's.
yeah,
So,
it's kind of amazing. It's
so in that little 5 minute period when we were, like looking, because it hasn't been a particularly magical week. I mean, we were
right.
both getting well,
Yeah,
and we were kind of recovering, and as you could see, our skin color
we're
is good,
back.
so that's kind of magical. But it was interesting to go through the process of actually feeling little bubbles of magic bubble up out of the stuff, and then we started finding all kinds of things that we thought were like remarkably interesting, like this lepidolite. And this light does not do it justice. We were just talking about this earlier. This is like a piece of food. It's so lovely that it feels like you can put it on your chest and just sort of press it in,
Sink in.
and it would become a part of you. And it was, it's purpley purple. It's just rich and thick and luscious. It's like food. And there are a few stones that are like that.
And many times lepidolite will just crumble when you polish it. So these
Yeah.
are extraordinary because they've got a nice polish on them.
Fabulous polish.
And then he found the last one because these have always been kind of magical for us.
Gene said, "Do we have any big amethysts?" And I said, "Well, I got a couple of these ametrines, and you can actually kind of like see the gold a little bit in there. You can see the citrine in. This is actually citrine inside of the amethyst. This is the actual stuff. There's no heat involved. Well, not any outside heat.
Not heat from man.
So it's it's another one of those things. It's really hard to see it because we don't have light pouring through it. But you get the hint. You can see up in the top there, you can see a little bit of gold, and on the edges. And this is a stone just when you find them all by themselves that are just magical. I mean, this is an actual crystal of ametrine.
Yeah. And of course we were looking for amethyst because of course it's a spiritual time for many traditions, and it's good to have a reminder. And amethyst has always been a very spiritual stone. So that was our and then we were sitting at the table before we started.
See, it started a whole cascade
And there's
of little moments of magic.
yes, when you start looking, sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it just has a cascading effect. This one is a quartz with a little plant growing in it. It's not an actual plant. It's a plant of, oh, sorry.
There.
It's a plant of, here, you do it. It's a plant of chlorite, I believe.
That's what it is. It's
and
like a little...
these are from Africa, and they're unbelievably.
There, you can almost see it. It looks like a shmoo. See it? See it in
it
there?
It does. And it's, we only got a couple of these. They're extraordinary, and they feel like, oh gosh, it's like the earth in a small microcosm. Yeah. So these are very beautiful stones. And this one to me is completely magical. It looks like a little plant growing inside a crystal. So actually, next time we're looking for magic and a moment of magic, we're just going to run down to the basement, and maybe we'll do a show from the basement next time. And we've also had a request to do shows about personal healing, stones for personal healing. So we're going to start on that next week. That's going to be a little longer. There's going to be a few weeks that we can do that, or we could do it a whole year, really. But we're going to do a few weeks on that. And thank you, Julie. And also, any other questions you guys have, we're happy to ask or answer, or we could ask them too. We're happy to answer for you. And so that is our moments of
So your homework coming up
holiday
will be to
magic.
think about the magic of the season and things that that you might find in, at least in the stone world or anywhere, that are magical, and let us know. And for your benefit, we're going to haul ourselves off down to Nashville to spend the weekend there mining the Nashvillians for various moments of
There's
magic.
always lots of moments of magic in Nashville. So we're looking forward to seeing any of you guys who can show up. And we thank you for listening, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Happy holidays.